Officially sworn in as president earlier on this afternoon. Let's cross live now to our reporter Peter Ndoro, who's at the capital in Harare. Peter, how I have missed you. Good afternoon. Look, the sentiments after the inauguration, of course, this side is that once the dust settles, Peter, discontent among Zimbabweans will soon arise when they recognize that actually the new change wasn't ushered in the way that they want. But what are the sentiments that side? We saw a jubilant packed National Sports Stadium with everybody celebrating, 5 African heads of state who joined in the celebrations. Talk to us about how the mood is in Zimbabwe currently now.
Right, so Alicia, thanks very much. Yeah, you're coming to Harare as the sun is starting to set on what's been a remarkable day, an historic day actually, because we saw the election rather of the third president of Zimbabwe, the second executive one, and he was talking about a second republic, and that really was the thrust of his speech today, in a sense talking about out with the old, we're starting a new way, we're finding a new path, and we've got to build this path together. Yes, he talked about the elections, and as you said, slightly less than half, if we take the official figures into hand, slightly less than half of the population voted for him, voted against him. And so what that means is that he has hard work in terms of trying to unite the country. And that's what his speech was all about. He said, listen, the politics is over, the elections are over, it's time together for us to come together and get the work done of building our economy. And this is something that he certainly won't be able to do himself. Some of the issues that Zimbabwe faces, like having faith in the banking system, is not so much a function of policy, but more about having faith in the system itself. And that would mean people actually taking the money out of their safes at home, under their mattresses, and putting it back in the banks. And so he's going to have to build a country of faith where everybody, including the opposition, will come to the party and help him build the country. So the question might be, did he do enough? Did he say enough? But certainly he's getting support from a number of people that came through today. And that might mean, the mark of a new era, the second republic, he calls it. You asked about the mood in Harare. Well, you know what? Harare in particular weren't enamored by what's been going on today. Just to give you an idea of just how big the size of support is for the opposition, there are 29 constituencies in the Harare area, 28 went to the MDC. So to say that Harare is not very interested, I think kind of tells the story. But people were bussed in from all 10 provinces. So the stadium was full. They came from as far afield as Plumtree. And so some people are driving home tonight, and it's going to take them 8 hours to get back just so that they could be part of these celebrations. So the mood in Harare, not a good gauge of the national sentiment, given that this is the MDC area, Alicia.
Right, Peter. Speaking of the opposition there, of course, talk to us about this fresh bid now by the MDC Alliance, saying that they are taking the election results challenge right down to Banjul. What is the strategy on the ground in regards to this?
Look, we're not quite sure what they'll do here in Harare. I'm not sure that a lot of people have the kind of appetite to go onto the streets given what happened on the 1st of August, where the army intervened and sadly 6 people ended up losing their lives. Zimbabweans are the kind of people who really are used to a lot of things, and they've literally been getting on with their lives ever since the elections were finished. And that demonstration that we saw was the only real protest that followed those elections. So we're not sure what they're going to do inside Harare. The approach to the commission, the Human Rights and People's Rights Commission, that is one gambit. But, when you talk around with people around here, they're not pinning too many hopes on that as a solution to what might come out. So it's another step. But in the meantime, the president has been reaching out to everybody and saying, all of my competitors, everyone that put their names on the ballots, come join us with this project Zimbabwe. Let's build the country together. And so it will be a question of which message resonates the most going forward. And I think most people, they do want change. And if the president can find a way, to get money in the banks, to create jobs, reduce poverty, it'll go a long way to starting to believe his message. Meanwhile, I suppose the opposition, they will try their luck wherever they can, but I suspect this is going to be a long journey for them.
Right.
Alicia?
Peter, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for that live update. That is Peter Ndoro right in Harare, in the capital, giving us a wrap of how things were in Zimbabwe. As of course, Zimbabwe officially swore in its president, Emmerson Mnangagwa.